Guys, fingers, we are in Sydney at the minute, so...
It's raining, believe it or not.
It's raining in Sydney. They've called off the cricket. It's just no cricket today. So, this was filmed while we were away with Rick Shields. Hammer did a Q&A with the punters. We'll be back next week. Phone calls. What else do we... The research from the last week of tournament.
I don't know, it feels like I haven't been on the podcast for like 2-3 weeks now. I don't even know where we recorded anymore.
It's been flying.
Have you sacked me in it?
No. We need someone short in there. But just before we even get into it...
No, you're holding the phone down like this. Like, just stand normal. There you go. Now we're the same height.
Big congratulations to our friend, Aaron Rife.
Great friend of the podcast.
Great friend. The double gloves, the head covers, the 5 hybrid, the driver that's 4 years old.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Well done, mates.
Would have loved a fist pump or something, though. Just
Yeah. But I'm sure he would have thanked us at some point.
I think he did. I think I might have got a text message.
What does it say? Leave me alone.
Piss off.
Yeah. But enjoy this week's episode. We'll be back next week. We'll see you soon.
All right.
In your life have you seen anything like that?
I'm back. We're not back. I am back by myself. The boys are over with Rick, I think, in Adelaide. Rick flew them to Melbourne and then back to Adelaide. So that was pretty cool. But they're away at the moment. They're going to be doing their own recording. They might clean the house to start with, but I'll just do the same thing. Welcome back to The Swing of It, brought to you by our great friends at GolfBox in the Backchat Studios, built by Grounded. All things are coming at us today. Hit the G-spot with Grounded. GolfBox, they... obviously I'm wearing them. We're here. Thank you. GolfBox got us a couple of black gloves for Ron. Obviously lost the Aaron Ryan Memorial. I think, speaking with Joel, he owes us an extra 4 rounds now. He didn't wear them in 2 games with Rick. So 2 times 2 is 4. That's an extra 4 rounds Ron owes. So now he owes 7 rounds in the black gloves. We don't make the rules, mate. We just enforce it. Welcome back. If you listen to the show, thanks for coming back and joining us. If you're new to us, we just talk golf sometimes. Quite often we don't. Quite often we talk a lot of other things. We were just talking before about World War II planes. We spoke about the Donald Bradman tour at the SA at the Adelaide Oval in South Australia. So we talk a lot of things. Sometimes we'll touch on golf. If you're a swinger, welcome back. If you're not, you can throw your keys in the fishbowl and become a swinger. Not too hard. Just I think it's $10 less than a pint of Guinness at Kwinana a month. So toss them in there and you can join all the fun. We're gearing up for the Swingers Invitational. I haven't forgotten about that. We just haven't all sat in the one room and really nutted that out. But the way today is going to work, last week I put up a post saying any questions for us and we just got flooded. I got 60 questions here, and I'm going to rapid answer all these questions. I know some of them were meant for Joel and Chop. Too bad. I'll answer on their behalf. I'm going to give it a little pause for effect, and now I'm going to get stuck into it. So today I've got 60 questions. Starting off, here we go. I'm ripping through them. Dan LJRDN. Joel shoots sub 83 or the beard goes. Chopper shoots under par or the mo goes. Up the ruse. Don't mind that for a little video idea. Sub 83 or you have to shave the beard. Sub par or the moustache goes. We could work something with that. I don't mind it. From Jesse Alford 7. When's Hammer getting the bastard set? It's a great question. Jesse, I actually think we're doing potentially something with Wilson, which I know wasn't the bastard set, but mate, at this point, beggars can't be choosers. So whatever works for them works for me. From Samuel Jerk. How soon until Ron and Joel share a handicap? That's a good question. I think you'd be able to get some sort of like Ambrose handicap for them because they play it often enough, so potentially soon. From Nielsen Corey, would you ever come up to the Northern Territory? I've been there once. I've been to Darwin. It's pretty hot. I'm sure there's some good golf up there. The boys, I'm not sure if they've ever done anything up there, but they would be very much open to it. The good thing about golf is you play it nationwide, so we can go up there. They can go up there. We can all have fun. From Kyle L. Walt, next trip Vietnam. Rick Shields even mentioned Chopper. Oh, there you go. I'd been to Vietnam before. Sensational part of the world. Beers, the Tiger beers and the 777s are like 30 cents. Banh mi is sensational. Beef pho, unbelievably good stuff. And apparently the golf there is pretty good too. So that would be fun. Liam Gollan, 1. Does different style tees, brackets, wood, plastic, different shapes, affect drives? I don't know. That's a chop question. I don't think so. I'm a traditionalist, though. I'm a wooden peg in the ground and then just smack it. You know it's a good drive with a wooden peg if it doesn't crack. That's my, at least, thought process behind it. It'd be interesting to see if that actually does do anything, because those ones with like the big plastic heads feel like they just sit. The ball sits there a little bit too much. But that's probably a question for Chop. I might actually ask him that next week when he's back. From Ice Daddy 17, oversized grips, yes or no? I'm a big yes for oversized grips. I think I've got massive hands. I'm a prodigiously big human. I feel like the oversized grips are nice. I've got Chop's new Mizuno, or his old Mizuno putter, and that has an oversized grip. It feels great. Haven't got them on the rest of my clubs, but I like the feel of a big grip. It feels familiar. From Old Mate Ropey, does a hole-in-one count on a par 3 course? Whoa, that's contentious. Old Mate Ropey, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I think it does count if people are there with you. I'm going to say it counts. As long as it's... I think it counts. I just think it counts. Coming up next from Shannon Dixon PT. When are the boys doing a Tassie trip? Not sure when they are doing one. I've got my Brayshaw Golf Classic there at the back end of next year, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be probably November. But I don't know when the boys are going to do a Tassie trip. I think they are going to Barnbougle maybe April-ish, but that could be just me making things up. I'm not sure. Thank you, Shannon. From Meggie Bammy. Nighttime golf. Should more courses be set up for it? We spoke about this last week, actually, coincidentally anyway. And yes, it'd just be a perfect idea. I think if Wembley Golf Course did a night session and had one of their 18-hole golf courses filled up for night golf until like 2 a.m, I think it would just be booked out the whole time. I think it's perfect for Perth because you have the FIFO workers who just come and it's like, hey, guys, I'm back for a week. Let me just do whatever. See your mates during the day, play golf at night. I think it'd just be a sensational idea. And we want to do, I think Joel was talking about doing it on the little plot of land that he's got his eyes on down there. Anyway, that's 10 questions for me. I'm going to cut right there and then palm it off to the boys. All right. Straight back into things now. The boys have been talking about whatever they have been, and that point that you made there, Chop, I disagree with, mate, and I agree with Ron. No, sorry, I disagree with Ron. I agree with Joel. I like what you said actually there at the end, Joel, about that thing. I think we should talk about that a bit more next time that you're back. But anyway, back into some questions from McLean Robbie. Who is everyone's arch nemesis and why? That's a great question. Arch nemesis. I can't speak for Joel. I think Ron's would be Kalgoorlie Karen. That would probably be his arch nemesis. I think Joel's arch nemesis used to be the bunker, but he's got over that. I think his arch nemesis is probably two-handed chipping, to be quite honest. I don't really have an arch nemesis, but I just, I don't think I've got an arch nemesis. I'm just trying to think. No, I don't. I don't really think I do. Nah. I just don't like a few people. There's this one guy whose name is escaping me. That's how good it is. I just don't. What's that guy's name? Brian? I think the guy's name was Brian that I didn't like. And if it's not Brian, that's the guy I'm thinking of. I hate that guy. But I don't know if his name is Brian. He's my arch nemesis. From Matt Ecky, what are the three of you having a Friday Arvo round? When are you three having a Friday Arvo round at Marrie Park? I don't know. It's a good question. We could do that pretty soon. I'm actually not sure where that is, to be quite honest. But we could do it. Thank you. From Corey RH, one local comp, $50 prize, bar only, play on or carry on. Depends on how many people are in the comp, mate. $50 seems pretty stiff. If it's like a Saturday or a Thursday comp, it's usually a couple of hundred and like maybe 200, but you can also spend it at the pro shop. I don't know. $50 at the bar gets you, 3 beers? Pretty stiff for mine. But congrats on winning the comp, Corey. I'd love to know what you had. If you want to reach out and let us know how many points you had that day, what sort of comp? Was it par? Was it Stableford? I don't know. From Amy 28, not a question, but can we get some women in the Swingers Invitational? Yes. Yes, you can. Amy, I don't want to just say that because that's probably going against it, but you might be on the short list. From Dylan Wilson. Dylan Neon Wilson. What does Hammer do for work? I sell cars, mate. I'm a novated lease salesman. That's what I do for work, and I do that 9 to 5, and then I hit prodigiously long balls after that. From Nikki Tins, when the hell is Ron gonna ship my marker? You know what? I'm going to back in that it's already been shipped. That was a week ago that you sent this, Nikki Tins, so I think it's already been shipped. Thank you. From BizzaJ86, push cart or carry the bag when walking? Got a push cart. I don't like the carry bag, the sling ones. Why would you bother carrying a bag when you can pull it along? The motor caddy is one of the great game changers. I don't have one. I've used one before, but you get to the 18th hole and you still feel fresh as a daisy. So I like that, but I'm probably a push cart guy, to be quite honest. From PJ Riot, what par do you like to start around with? 3, 4, or 5? Great question. Hate starting with a par 3. The worst. Par 4 is probably the standard. Par 5, I feel like there's a bit more room for error, but I like to have those in the back end of a round when I'm warm and then you can really attack. So I probably would say a par 4. Dead against par 3s. Hate starting with them. Don't often do it. Do it at Yokine, 240 metres into the wind. Worst starting hole, or the hardest starting hole ever. 4 is probably the tick, and then 5 is that's a difficult one because you want them at the back end when you're warm. Great question. From Muggsy23, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Definitely the 10 duck-sized horses. Because if a horse is this big, what's it really doing to you? Because horses have, what can they do? They can kick and they can sort of bite a little bit. But if it's a duck-sized horse, the bite's not going to hurt too much and the kick is really doing nothing. Even if there's 10 of them, you can just sort of flail your legs around a bit, I reckon, and just boot a bunch of them away. So I reckon I'd rather fight 10 duck-sized horses. Because a horse-sized duck is like a 6 foot, 7 foot duck. That's massive. I don't think I'd get past that. And from Joe Mirza, Hammer, as a short game expert, what club do you recommend as a go-to club around the green? Joey, that's a great question. And yes, you're right, mate. You've come to the right guy. If you watch the Aaron Ryan Memorial, brackets not dead, I'm doing okay, close brackets, you see me offer Brett Rumford a lesson. He's still yet to accept that, Rummy. So if you do want it, mate, you're welcome to reach out. But I am the short game expert in and amongst this group. I am a 60-degree wedge operator around the green. Sometimes I will go to the 8-iron if I have to get a little bump and run. But yeah, I'm a 60-degree, open it up, flop it to the sky and just swing hard and just see it rise. Because if you're not flopping it, even if you're a foot and a half off the green, I think you're a bit of a coward. Get it above the flag. That's 10 for me. Take a pause here, pass it back to the boys, and I'll be back. Thanks for that, Joel. Once again, mate, you're just on fire. Chop, are you doing anything that side of the fence? Yeah. Anyway, I agree with you, Ron, that you should wear those gloves for an extra couple of rounds. Thanks for finally getting on board, mate. We don't make the rules, we just enforce them. Back to the questions from Matthew Bowen. If you had to choose one golfer to back you up in a street fight, who are you choosing? That's a great question. Probably Tony Finau. He's huge and got that sort of Polynesian Islander sort of body, and I feel like he would be just thick and hard to beat. So I'd probably say Tony Finau. If I couldn't go Tony Finau, I would then probably take Brooks Koepka because he's jacked. But yeah, I'm a Tony Finau guy, I think. Looking at it, how many ball markers have you got from the Marker Society? Wow, shout out Marker Society over those the book ball markers. I have not got as many as I would like. I do always say that I want to collect them. I've probably got maybe 10, but nowhere near enough. I've played way more than 10 golf courses. I really should have a book for them. Shout out Marcus Society. I do have a book for them. I just need to fill it. From C.A. Aoli 5. If you three were a shark, what would you be? Great question. I know exactly what I would be. Joel would probably be I'll say Joel would be a great white shark because he's just so menacing and powerful. I would be a hammerhead. It's just in the name. I think Ron would probably be a gummy shark. Just a real harmless wobbegong. That's probably what would be. Great. Joel and I would probably interchange between a great white, a tiger shark, and a hammerhead. Maybe a bull shark even. And Joel and Ron would probably be a little wobbegong or a gummy shark. That's probably it. From robogolf.co. How do you tell your mates that you're better than them at golf? That's an easy one, mate. You just, it depends actually. Sorry, I take that back. It's not easy. You got to check the handicap. If it's a handicap versus handicap, so easy. Just say, mate, come on, you're off 10, I'm off 9.8. I'm clearly miles better than you. If it's the reverse, and their handicap is in front of you, you have to come up with some excuses. A few of them are, obviously, if I could drive, I'd be a scratch golfer. I've got such a better ceiling than you do. I've got touch around the greens that you just don't have. I can do things on the course you can't do. Those are the sort of things you got to run with when your mate has got a better handicap than you. The best one that I run with at the moment, actually, my little cousin George has a better handicap than me, but I know I'm better than him. And I think the thing that you've got to say to them is, it's all well and good, mate, your handicap's better than me, but we're not on the course at the same time. I just know that I'd intimidate you on the course enough to just mentally beat you down. You're never going to beat me one-on-one. That's what I think you go with if your mate has got a better handicap than you. You just say, it's because you're playing. Mate, no worries, you're a downhill skier. That's fine. Come face-to-face with jump in the furnace and you can't handle the heat. That's what I think you go with if their handicap is better than yours. Thank you. From Blair Oakley 96. Why is Hammer so good at golf and Chopper has the biggest bags under his eyes? It's a great question, mate. I often think that. I know I'm okay at golf. I know I can hit a long ball. I know I've got touch and feel around the greens. As for the bags under Chopper's eyes, I think it's just the dread of the fact that he's got to wear these double gloves for now, 7 rounds of YouTube golf, which is not good. 7 rounds of the double glove is, unless he cracks it, unless he can sort of crack the code and be going under par regularly, I think that's what is causing the big bags under his eyes. Thanks, Blair. From Sam Jones, 28907. That's a weird one because Sam Jones, that's a pretty standard name. I feel like there'd be a few of them. That's why he's got 28907 on there, but I just wonder what that's for. 28907, maybe born on the 28th of September 2007. That's probably my guess. Sam. For Hamish, golf in footy boots or footy in golf shoes for the rest of your life? Wow. I'd play golf in footy boots. I think footy boots are, well, they're essentially spikes, so you're definitely going to get some good grip on the ground. The putting surface would probably not be too happy with you because you'd be, but I could just keep chipping in. But playing footy in, actually, if I did go footy in golf shoes, maybe I do that because I don't have, I might have 3 or 4 years left of playing footy. I mean, I can play golf forever. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I'm going to play footy in my golf shoes forever for the rest of my life, and I'll retire sooner than later. Thank you very much for that, Sam. From Taylor J. Shaw, do you guys think tees should be based on handicap rather than gender? Yes, I really do. I think the Wembley do it. Wembley have got the handicap staggered tees. I think it's a great idea. If you're off scratch and you're a woman, you shouldn't be off the reds. You're off scratch. Come back and play off the scratch tees. You're better than me. You should tee off from back there. I agree with that. I think that's a good one, Taylor. From Reese Stewart, why do push doors have handles? It's a good question. Why do push doors have handles? I think, I don't know. Sometimes they go both ways. And if you've seen Tim Robinson's, I think you should leave, then that's a little shout out there. But yeah, I think sometimes they go both ways. That's why push doors have handles. From Scotty Broads, not a question, but sent a message as it was too long to write here. Thanks, Scott. That means probably we've got a message in our inbox from Scott that I haven't looked at. I'll try and find that one. From Tristan Moore, Ron, does your fee for lessons for Joel start ×2 when you give the same lesson over and over? That's a really good one. I think it's probably now ×80 because Chop's given that same thing for Joel where you've got to take backswing a little bit deeper and instead of not as high and come down here. I think he's just keeping a tally, to be honest. I think Ron's just keeping a tally and we'll hit Joel with it at one point. But yeah, I'd say probably it's about, I would say, ×80. How many is that? I feel like that's 10. Yeah, that's 10. Right, I'm going to put a pause right there, kick it back over to the boys, and we'll be back.
All right, Varsity, 19th hole. There's been some technical difficulties with this one. Firstly, hello. Welcome back, Greg. Brought to you by our great friends at GolfBox, my new bestest ever friends, who finally brought me in the inner sanctum with my new Wilsons. Sensational, by the way. But this is the Varsity hole, 19th hole. So the way this works, we ask you guys to send in emails, send in voice memos. I had one here that got sent through, and I was very much excited to listen to this one because I thought, here we go, this will be good. And it was from Tom McClurg. The voice recording went for 2 seconds. So Tom, if you're listening, I reckon you might have made a mistake. So that's all it is. That's fine. Instead, we got 3 other ones. The first one isn't really a 19th hole story. This was more just a question that came through. From Colin Taylor. Hey lads, I've got a golf weekend coming up with myself and 7 more of my mates down in Mandurah. Sensational spot for a golf trip. We've got 18 holes at Meadow Springs on Friday, 18 holes at the Cut Saturday, 9 holes so we don't get divorced at Secret Harbour on the Sunday. What 2 holes would you pick at the Cut to do a longest drive and the closest to pin competition for some cold, hard cash? That's a great question, Colin. I think you could do the longest drive on the 12th, just the signature, but I reckon if you're going to do a long drive, you go par 5. I would do the 5th hole. Starting on a bit of an elevated tee box, you can just let it rip. I think that's probably the way to do it. And then if you're going nearest the pin, it has to be on 16. Real tight little pin, tiny little hole. It's a ripper. That's the best par 3 there to do it on, I think. So yeah, I would say 5 for the long drive and 16 for your nearest the pin. Thanks very much, Cole. Now, we've only got 2 for Varsity this week. We did have 3, and then Tom McClurg's one came through. It was a 2-second voice recording, so that's disappointing. Sorry, Tom. Let me just find it right here while I'm looking. First one from Josh Wooldridge. Woolly Mammoth. Mamo. Gents, played a comp Sunday. The following events were performed by a very untrained professional. We got onto the 9th tee. Fairway slightly uphill, dogleg to the right, children's playground directly to the right of our tee box. Luke tees the ball up, takes his first backswing and swings through. The ball bouncing square off his driver over the fence into the playground. He walks to grab another ball, tees it up, air swing. After we finish pissing ourselves and he takes his backswing and swings through again, this time he hits the ball on a 45, collides with a tree, flies over the fence and lands a foot next to his other ball in the same playground. Eventually, he got the ball onto the fairway for his 6th shot and finished with a 15 for the hole. To his credit, and despite his 163 for the round, still gave a shit throughout the day. Also watched a brand new MGI run straight into the drink. P.S. Reverse polarity is a joke. Big Magnet was on my side and helped me score 45 points on the same day. I'm not sure if you're taking the piss out of reverse polarity there because it's quite clearly not a joke. Yeah, if you're making fun of us, I don't know. I don't like it though. That guy feels like Big Magnet. He feels like Big Magnet. Not really sure. Next, Joshua Gibbons. This story may sound familiar for a few on the pod. I was lucky enough to get extremely late call up to play in the Brisbane PGA Pro-Am and somehow got placed in a group with my favourite swinger. Anyway, living out my golfing dream as a mid-20s handicapper, we landed on the 18th hole. I've outpiped the big Australian man. Oh, so he's playing with Ron. I've outpiped the big Australian man off the tee, and we stand and wait for our approach shot to the green. I have had every golfer's worst thought. Geez, I haven't lost a ball yet today. Must be nice. This thought was instantly blurted out to the great man. He chuckled. I proceeded to put an 8-iron into the 18th greenside grandstand, swallow my pride, and complete the walk of shame. Credit Ron and Joel as they chuckled again and gave no words of encouragement. P.S. Wanted to start the message by saying, hey legends and blank, but couldn't split the 3 of you. Just kidding. Hey legends and Joel. Oh, that's pretty stiff. Love the work swing. I love the work swing on swingers. Thanks very much, Joshua. So look, it's between Joshua and it's between Josh. But Josh has had a go at Big Magnet. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the Varsity 19th hole voucher to James. You've got yourself a Varsity 19th hole $100 gift card. Send them through. Send a voicemail through that's more than 2 seconds. Send a story through. This week I've just gone and picked it myself because someone had to go at Big Magnet. Reverse polarity is where it's at. Yep, keep swinging. Sorry we can't be all together this week. The boys are out and about, but we'll see you next week. Bye.
We're back. Okay. We are just working like a metronome here, me and Cal. I've gone 6 minutes, 6 minutes, and 6 minutes of conversation. The boys, I don't know what you talked about just then, but it didn't sound nearly enough like golf. So I think if I had to have a guess, I would say you're talking about fly fishing. That would be my guess as to what you guys have just been discussing. Joel actually sent me a video of a guy, or like the flick, the fly fishing sort of flicking. It wasn't very impressive. I could do way better, but it did look pretty cool. I think he wanted to work that into our sports decathlon whenever we end up getting to that. We've got a lot of ideas that just need to come to fruition, but let's get us all back in the one place first. Regardless, we're back on the questions from Adzi Oldfield. Adzi Oldfield. No question, sorry. Let's find a way to get you lads down to Esperance Golf Club. Thanks, Adzi. I'm sure, I mean, Esperance is a beautiful part of the world, so I'm sure the golf club's quite nice too. From JRRD Witt. Not sure, mate. That's just what I've got here. JRRDWHTT. Jared Witt is how I'm going to say that. How many bad holes / mistakes until you are mentally in a place of no return for the round? That's a really good question. I reckon for me, it is, 3 bad holes in a row, you're done. You're done. And like, it's easier said than done, but like if you have 2 really costly mistakes in a row, done. Like for the other day I played, I was 35 points through 15 holes, drove the green on a par 3, putt for eagle for 2 or 4, missed the putt, missed the birdie, tap in par 37, and I'm like, oh, that's so annoying. Like that's all right. I've still got 2 holes to play and I'm on 37 points. I then lost the ball off the tee and I was like, fuck that. 2 costly mistakes in a row and I was like mentally cooked for the round. Finished on 37, went wipe to finish. So that's what I would say to that, Jared. Simon says 111. What to do if you just blow at putting? I imagine just suck at putting, but know the rest is okay. Drills, styles of putter, etc. Simon, from someone who has just gone from a mallet to from a blade putter to a mallet putter, get yourself a mallet putter. Oh, this Mizuno mallet thing is just it's a metronome. It's clockwork. I can't miss. Well, I can miss, but it just goes straight. You're not getting those ones where you sort of like accidentally jag it off and it comes off at a 40-degree angle. You just hit it along your line. It then becomes a matter of whether you can read a green or not, but that's what I would say. Drills or whatever, I don't know drills, but equipment fixes everything. A good tradesman always blames his tools, I think is the saying. So do that. From Lucas Ruffino, why do we use feet and inches? Why not meters and kilometres? There's your ball, 0.4 kilometres left. It's a great question. You can do that with any forms of measurement, I find. I had a friend who, for whatever reason, used Sylvester Stallone as a measurement. Like, how far? Oh, geez, that's a pretty good shot. How far do you got to the hole? Probably 3 Sylvester Stallones, which was weird, but it worked. You can use whatever you want. If you want to go in meters and kilometres, be my guest. A lot of people do that. I probably do that, to be honest. I would say a metre to the pin as opposed to 3 feet, would I? No, I'd probably say 3 feet. Anyway, Lucas, that's a good point. Some food for thought. Now, that short King Josh, any advice for someone with a seemingly good swing but constantly fatting the ball? Swing harder. I reckon. Swing harder. You'll stop. Yeah, I think just swing as hard as you can. Chop would have some real advice on that, but that's my advice. Swing as hard as you can. From Nudsy95, dream international golf trip location. That's a really good question. For me, you could probably say the Monterey Peninsula in California, like Cypress Point, Pebble Beach, Spyglass, all those sort of ones in and around there would be just unbelievably good. Even going Thailand and playing some of those really nice courses and getting the caddies and because that looks sick up there. They would probably, or I've just been to Scotland. If you could travel, unlimited cash, obviously, because everything over there with a pound is really expensive, but just travel from Scotland all the way up and down. You can just play every course there and it's just the greatest. So they would be my 3. Monterey Peninsula, just because you'd loved it if you could play them all. Scotland and then probably Thailand would be pretty sick. Roger G. Cook, when choppers completed all the rounds with the gloves, will they be framed on the wall? Yes, they will be. They'll be framed on the wall, put up there. We might even auction them off or sell them off some point. I don't know. That's just me spitballing. I reckon, yes, they'll definitely be framed. From Laundro Matt, considering team Hammer and Joel cheated with Ben not break, what's the penalty? That's just not true. At no point did we cheat with Ben not break. That's a rule. Ben not break is a rule in golf, which we perfectly adhered to. If you're talking about the one in the Aaron Rye Memorial where Joel may or may not have accidentally snapped a branch in the little bush, we used my shot and I was allowed a club length as per the rules of Ambrose. So we're good. So sucked in. From JD Eagles, what's the best training aid on the market for getting a consistent swing pattern going? I get these ones on Temu all the time where it's like the mats that you sort of hit and the fabric changes so you can see the line. I think that'd be pretty good. I don't know. The other one that I have seen being done is like at the driving range or wherever it is, sticking tees in the ground in line with if you don't want to go too far, that if you wanted to stop coming down on it, put a tee there so that if you come down, you're hitting the tee. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. Chop would probably be the best to tell you about that. And from Paddy Charlton, do any of you guys have any pre-round superstitions? I wouldn't say it's a superstition, but every time I go to the golf course, I think that I'm going to have 50 points. That would probably be it for me. Just thinking I'm going to have 50, having that confidence. Anyway, that's 10 questions. I'm going to pause it right there, kick it over to the lads, and I'll speak to you again in a minute. Now we are back. We're at the back end. I think we've done 40 questions. So let's just call it 40. We've got 20 to go. Coming in, actually, I don't know what the boys spoke about once again, but I like it. We're also getting to a point where I don't know, Cal, if I'm going to have spoken more or if they're going to have spoken more. So whether we are just chopping and it's not actually chopping, that could be quite funny. We'll see what the boys do. Anyway, from James Brearley, will Chop do more videos with Quan and the boys? I don't know. Quan sleeps in, so I don't really like him. That's not true. I'm sure he's a very good, nice guy, but don't sleep in on a big day. From Jim Jam _ the Ham. Hammer, no matter the lessons, you cannot teach prodigious length. And that is something that is absolute gospel. You can take that to the bank, mate. You can't teach prodigious length. And it is something that I was born with, and I've just got it in the kit bag. And that's the good thing about Joel and I as the greatest Ambrose team that's ever existed. We just wax on, wax off. He's got that touch. I've got that ability to just hit the ball longer than anyone ever. So that's good. From Brenton Ellis 8, Guinness at Live Adelaide. Yes. I think the boys are there at the moment. Joel is having a Guinness as we speak, I would suggest. From Luke MacArthur 9, best tip for a slicer other than lessons. Mate, this is a tip from me. Chop would be able to give you a legitimate tip. A tip from me that I used when I used to slice the shit out of it. Put my back leg, and Ron would be listening to this thinking, Hammer, what the fuck are you talking about? I used to line up as per normal and then just drop my right foot. So like bring my right foot, I'll try and do it here. Bring my right foot like down to sort of like my heel. I think what that made me do was swing along the path of my feet. So I'd be coming in to out more as opposed to out to in, which is what happens with a slice. Eventually you would have to get a lesson to fix that because, then you start hooking it and you're aiming in the wrong spot. But like to stop it immediately, if you're on the course and you're 6 holes in and you've sliced 6 in a row and you think, fuck, I've got 12 to get. That's what I used to do. I used to just drop my back foot, and it just promoted me swinging into out, and it just would stop that immediate dead slice. That's just what I've got. Chop has probably a real tip for you and probably hates what I've just said, but from a guy who used to slice heaps and doesn't anymore, I'm more of a snap hook sort of operator. That's probably what I would say. For Callum Fit. For Ron, how to nurture my 3-year-old's love of golf until he's old enough for classes. I'm not Ron. But I would just say put on old Tiger highlights. And actually, another good thing you could do is you could give him rewards, give him things like say, oh, do you like this? Do you like your golf clubs? Do you like, have a watch, mate? Enjoy that watch. Give it to him for a couple of years. And then when he's like 5, take everything off him and say, hey, all that stuff costs a lot of money. And if you want a lot of money, got to be good at golf. Then he'll have that drive again. That's probably what I would say, Callum. From Dan GoPro 7. And when are we going to get hammer fitting video? Great question. Pretty soon, I think. As I said earlier, one of the other questions was I think we're getting some Wilson stuff. Maybe those new irons that Chop brought in here the other day. Whether or not I'm fitting for them or not, I would like to. But again, beggars can't be choosers. It's I'm playing with clubs that are like 15 years old. So I will get some new ones whenever I get the chance. Dan GoPro 7 has come again with another question. When are you guys going to make some golf merch, ball markers, etc.? That's a great question. We should do that. We should do that pretty soon. I think we will. We don't want to just oversaturate the market. The boys have their own stuff going on, and we don't just want to be, throwing ball markers at you left and right. But if it's something you want, we can certainly look at it. Anyway, from Dan Hawash. Is it better to join a fully private course, WAGC, etc., or a semi-private course, Joondalup, etc.? Pros and cons. There's pros and cons of both of them, I think. The pros of a fully private course is that everyone that is there understands golf. The etiquette is it's a sort of a lot more clear cut. You're not having to deal with you're dealing with people that understand golf more often than not. It's a little bit less reckless and Joondalup is a public course. Anyone can go and play there. You can drink on the course. You can have a bit of fun. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can sort of get some hectic ideas, some hectic things going on. Whereas a fully private course is just a bit more strict and a bit more like this is actual golf. I would say the cons of that is it's more expensive to go to a fully private. There's often wait lists and you can take your time. Whereas Joondalup, I'm not sure, but a lot of these semi-private courses are a bit more accessible to get on. There's pros and cons of getting everywhere. What I would say is before like committing to a lock in like a private golf course, try something like a PGN if you're just getting into it, or a Future Golf where it's like, okay, I'm going to get a handicap, I'm going to try and go and play, and then if you're committed to a course and you're happy with it, then you can sort of go and say, all right, I'm ready to jump into a membership here. But it is an investment, and if you're not going to get the most out of it, if you're just doing it for a handicap, it might not be worth the investment. But if you're going to play all the time, it's a good one. From Callum Fit, Fort Ron, you've already asked that one. I've gone back there again, have I? You just asked that twice. Never mind. From Baxter92, make a bag, but each selection has to be a different brand. You can only pick one. You can only pick each brand once. I think we said this already, the bastard set. But if I had to do it off the top of my head, I would have the TaylorMade QI35, the driver that I got right now. I think it's unbelievable. I would have no 3-wood. I would have the Nike Red Rocket Covert that I've got, my little hybrid, phenomenal. The Titleist 3-iron that I've got, the driving 3-iron, unbelievable. I guess I would then Mizuno putter, which I've got, my favourite putter in the world. What have I got left? I would have a Cleveland 60-degree wedge. I would have a... See, now I'm just running out of things. I would then... Oh, you probably don't... Like, then I would go... Because if it's one thing each, I'd have a Callaway iron from maybe... I'd have a Callaway pitching wedge. I'd have a Strixon 8-iron. I'd have a Ping 6-iron. I would have a... What else is there? I don't even know what other brands there are. Yeah, anyway... I reckon I would just, and like maybe a Gary Player 4-iron that you don't often use. Wouldn't have a 7-iron, never use it. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Just mix it up with the irons, but I would have the big ones. I would have exactly what I've got now because I love them. From Dan Hawash again, what's the top 3 private courses in everyone's opinion in order in WA? Well, I can't speak on behalf of these two because they're not here. But my own top 3 private courses in this state are Lake Carrinup Country Club, without question, is the best. That sits atop the rest at 1. I have never played Mount Lawley, but I have been there before, and it's really, 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 really nice. I haven't played it, so it's not going to be my 2, but I'm going to go Cottesloe at 2, and then I'm going to go Mount Lawley at 3. They would be my 3 in WA. And I think that's 10. That's 10. So I'm going to pause it there and just kick it over back to the boys. Only a few to go here. Thanks very much for bearing with us. We've been ripping through the questions. It's been nice to hear from everybody and what they are after. I'm sorry that Chop and Joel haven't been here. They've been talking about whatever they have been talking about. I think at this point they'll be talking about some sort of butcher stuff, some recipes or whatnot, and whether or not they still go to the gym. I think Joel said that he was getting back into it, and Chop definitely said he was, but his leg got sore, obviously, and he can't even see or breathe. So whether he's still going, I'm not sure. You can't tell if he is. Anyway, let's go through. We've got a couple to get. From Blake Gambale _ICN. When is Chopper's next round of lessons going? Happy to make the trip from Cal for it. That's a question you're going to have to ask, Chop. I don't know. Sorry. From Josh Woolley. Best public courses to play on a work trip to Perth next month. I would say if you're going... Don't know where you're coming from. I hope you're not coming from down in Mandurah because that's where the best public courses are. Go down there. The Cut, Meadow Springs, Secret Harbour, Linksport, Kennedy Bay. Like, they are all phenomenal golf courses. Mandurah Country Club, I think you can get on one day a week maybe as a public. They're all unbelievable. Go down there and do that. If you're up in Perth, I would say Joondalup is a clear one to go and play. Wembley is really nice, but it's just, I would do that just to get pissed at the Green Acres afterwards. Making the trip out to Araluen is really good. It just depends on where you really want to go. Checkers is a great course. It's out in Ellenbrook, but no one's ever there. You can always book the night before, and it's wicked fun. So, yeah, there's a couple. And Sun City is really nice as well, but again, it's a bit of a drive. Will you lads from Brecky F. Will you lads be doing another trip to Queensland, and what's the best weekly practice routine? Can't speak to the trip to Queensland, mate, and realistically can't speak to the best weekly practice routine either. But I saw this video from Rory McIlroy today saying that in over two tournaments, you have like 150 shots from 100 in. Or the pros do anyway. I probably have way more. So I would just practice from 100 in and then putt more often than not and then go to the driving range. That's if I was Rory McIlroy. If I'm me, I'm just going to the driving range and bringing out driver straight away. From Jared 1. Any tips for teaching the misso? Not sure if this is a trap or not. How to swing a club? That's a great question. My girlfriend can swing a golf club. She's okay at it at the driving range. That would be my thing first. I would say take her to the driving range. Take her at, if you're in, obviously, sounds like you're in Perth. If you are, that's great. If you're not, don't worry about it. But if you're in Perth and you've got a girlfriend that you want to go to the driving range with, take them to the top floor at the Wembley driving range and just give them a driver. One, it's a bigger head, so like more often than not, they're going to hit it. And two, because they're up top, even if they top it, it still goes in the air because it just sort of goes over. So that's what I would do. Get the confidence up, top floor of the Wembley driving range, and just pump driver out there as hard as they can. Might only go 20 metres, but it's in the air because they're already up a story. That would be what I'd be doing, Jared. From Aaron Kish, how does Hammer hit those blocks that go straight right? That was on the double Glover. Yeah, that's a great question. I actually don't know how that physically happens. What I would say about my erratic golf shots at the Aaron Ryan Memorial, brackets not dead, doing okay, close brackets, was every time that I hit those shots, Joel had one that was somewhat in play. And now I've got a fucking pumpkin on my head and don't know how to be serious. But once I knew that it was like, okay, we're not going to have a double here. We're going to be somewhat in the vicinity. I almost just close my eyes and swing it as hard as I can. Now, that one that went out over, probably 230, the worst shot I've ever hit. Those ones, I'm just swinging so hard and it comes literally off if the driver faces here, it's coming off the top right and just going bing, straight out there. So that's how that happens. I'm swinging too hard, I'm closing my eyes really and just hoping for the best and it doesn't come off. 4 to get. Cody Grooves 5. When's Hammer's club fitting happening? Great question. As I've said, it'll happen when it happens. Beggars can't be choosers. But hopefully soon. From Declan Mulheron. How often does Chop practice? Not enough is the answer to that. Not enough. But golf is becoming that man's life. So I reckon he would be hitting balls in some capacity once every 2 days would be my guess. From Kyle FXWLER. Are y'all going to live? I'm not. I think the boys are already over there. They've been playing with Rick over in Adelaide. That wraps us up. Shout out to our great friends at GolfBox for bringing us this. That's pretty much it. Backchat Studios were brought to you by Grounded. They're hiring, I think is what they wanted me to say. I can't remember that exactly, but I'm pretty sure they're hiring and they do need qualifications. I remember last week on the Backchat podcast, I just said to anyone to apply, but you've got to be qualified in some way, shape or form. Yeah, shout out. If anyone is if you're just new to us, please jump on the YouTube and subscribe. We are trying to get to 10,000. We did the John Daly Classic at 5,000. We're still thinking about something for 10. It was going to be the Tasteful Fireman's magazine, but that's not looking like it'll be a full season, a full calendar. So we just we've canned that. We're going to go something else at the 10,000. We're going to figure that out. But yeah, please follow us on YouTube, subscribe there, follow us on Instagram, comment, do what you want, share, tell your friends. If you've got an uncle, if you've got an auntie, if you've got a sister, if you've got some friends, if you've got any family members, if you've got any mates at all who like golf or don't like golf, tell them to listen to the podcast because that's how it grows. If you want to be a swinger, throw your keys in the fishbowl. It's on. You can jump online. It's www.swingofit.com.au. There's a section on there that says Patreon or Patron. Jump on there, subscribe, be a swinger. You get ad-free content. You get a little bit of extra stuff. The boys have started. What we've been doing is giving, I'm sure they'll probably do it over there actually. They've just been giving a little bit extra. We've been just chatting after the pod, after the curtain comes down, we keep chatting. So if you want to hear that sort of stuff, that's what the swingers are there for. But otherwise, just enjoy listening. Thanks very much. It means a lot that you do tune in. I'm not sure what the boys are going to be saying here to wrap things up, but probably some sort of butcher chat and then Chop trying to get a word in and then not really having much success. We'll all be back in studio next week, so we'll see you all then. But for the meantime, tap out from me and goodbye. See ya.